Hey there, Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And today we are going to talk about what that moon is doing April 20th through the 26th of 2020. Crazy year that we're having going on here, right? So before I get too far into it, I would like to ask you to go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. It connects your energy with mine. And if you would leave me a comment, then I could write your name down when I'm channeling information, and I'm more likely to get messages that resonate for you. But the thumbs up button is just kind of like a way of saying thank you for me taking the time to create this for you. And it takes really 1 second of your time for, 20, 30 minutes of my time. So I would appreciate it. I really want to encourage you to always check out your sun, your moon, and your rising. And there is a really an important reason for this. Your sun sign is pretty easy for you to figure out, right? It's when you were born. It's the day you were born, and so that's generally easy to figure out for most people. That is the core of you. That is how you feel inside. It's how you're viewing the world, right? It's your attitudes and how you it's the lens through which you look at the world. But your rising sign is about your destiny. It is about how the planets are interacting with you, because what it does is it's where the sun was on the horizon at the time you were born. That's your ascendant sign. And so you need to know what time you were born and where you were born in order to calculate that. But there are free calculators online. You just have to put in free astrological chart, and several options will come up. Cafe Astrology has one, Astro Dentist has one, Astro Theme, and there's others. So don't pay for that. But when you know what your first house is, then you know where all the houses line up, right? And then what the planets are doing and what they're ticking off. So when I say something like, well, that's in your third house, that actually mean it's in your third house if you're a Virgo rising. So it's always good to check out your sun, your moon, and your rising to get a really good idea of what's going on, because that's how you interact with the world and how the energies are coming at you. And then the moon sign. Now, the moon sign should be pretty easy to find, even if you don't know what time you were born. But the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So if whatever you put in, because if you don't know what time, it comes up as 12 noon. If you don't know what time, then the moon sign might feel off, like that doesn't resonate. Check out the next sign over. So if it comes up as an Aries moon and it doesn't ever really seem to resonate, check out the Taurus moon, because it might have changed signs on you that day, and so then it's the next one. And so this is something to keep in mind, to think about, or check the one before it. Maybe it was a Pisces moon. So see what messages resonate for you if you don't know the exact time, and so you at least have a little more information to work with. So I did channel messages for you. They were really short. They were like TikTok messages today. They were like 15 seconds long. It was just in and out. I just saw like little things. And for you, what I saw was the Nile River. And it was lush and it was green. And then I could just see, it was kind of like it started out there and then it panned out, right? And there was the desert, and there were the pyramids in the distance, and I thought it's really fertile. It's really fertile ground up near the waters of the emotion. There's positive things coming, but you got to get through the desert first. I mean, it was like some harsh conditions around your situation, and so I wanted to get more information because they were just so short. So I went to the Foxfire Kitsune and pulled cards for everybody, and you have the same one as Leo has. And so, like, my brother-in-law is a Leo, but he is a Virgo rising, and so this would definitely be his card this week. It says, to dance with joy. To dance with joy. So it says, you are not alone, beautiful soul, although you have felt alone so many times. When this card comes to you, seeker, you know that there will soon be others who will join you, and together there will be festivities and creations and rituals that are joyous in a sense of no longer being alone in the world where you once felt disowned. You move, and as you move, the world notices you. Your energy draws others closer to you, and they join you, attracted by the energy you radiate as you dance the truth of your existence. You know, everybody's been so locked down that, it's not always going to be like this. That's one thing. And it's no one else's dance, and there's no laws except for, that it's your story, and it's what's important to you that you're sharing with others, right? And so what what is important to you, when gifts are offered and when friendship is extended towards you, these things are all coming to you now. All you need to do is allow yourself to finally be who you are amongst others. In this way, the people of your own soul tribe can find you, for they too have been seeking refuge in the forest of the Kinsu. They are delighted too that you have been hiding out there within the honesty of revealing one's souls. Others can know us. Um, and so being willing to be open up and be vulnerable and be authentically yourself, you will attract to you the people who are like-minded, soul tribe, right? And so you're being encouraged to not try to fit in where you don't fit in. It's okay to be authentically you. In fact, it's highly encouraged. It's highly encouraged. All right. So, and also eventually this world is going to open back up, even though we're all kind of like stuck and trapped where we are right now. So, turn on some music and dance to get yourself moving, to change the energy around you. That's a really good way to manage some of that. And this week would be good because the energy this week is super, super freaking stupid tough. Not gonna lie, this is a really rough week coming up here. And you're like, how can it get any worse? Okay, this is one. All right, so the moon is going to move into Aries at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's Eastern Daylight Time on Monday. And then right after that, it comes into conjunction with Chiron. And so all the emotional feelings about all the things that bother us will come up. It'll be a rough day. If you can remember back to how you felt it was a Tuesday, March 24th, then, that was the day after where I live in Michigan, where the governor shut down the state. So whatever, right? It's like, think back to how that was, because that was a new moon in Aries that came into conjunction with Chiron. So that was on steroids for what you're going to be feeling. So it should be a little better than that, but just things that trigger you, things that people point out to you, things that upset you, and you have that immediate reaction of denial, then that is something that requires a little more work and a little more healing. It's a good indicator that, usually we are in denial of the things that, we need to be working on. It's a defense that everybody uses. I don't know people that don't use that, right? And then Tuesday is really going to be high stress because the sun is going to be in a square, which is a very difficult energy. Think of it as squaring off for a fight with Saturn over there in Aquarius. And so fear mongering. This would be a really good day to stay away from social media, I'm just saying. Okay, so there's going to be a real sense of frustration at all the inactivity on that day. There's going to be this sense that there's so many things under your control and you want to have control. And oh my God, I don't know anybody who wants control more than a Virgo, right? It's like, I need to control my environment, right? And so you are going to be asked to release the need for control. You're going to be asked to surrender up and let that happen. So you have the release in order to find the peace. This is going to be compromising something that in your soul of souls feels so wrong. Like, just take a deep breath. And so yoga, meditation, going for a walk, dancing, being physically active as you possibly can to release all that anxiety and that antsiness is going to be so beneficial for you. So hang in there. Wednesday, more tough energy. The moon is going to move into Taurus. Oh, I always jump ahead here. What do we have? Oh, geez Louise. Okay, so you have chaos and you have death, but this is Hades. And so that death is the death that leads to the rebirth eventually. So it is the ending of the letting go of something in order to let something good come in. This actually feels like great energy for this week because we end up having Pluto going retrograde at the end of the week, and that is about looking at what's in the debris and the rubble of the chaos around you, what is no longer worthy of our time and attention, and what is salvageable and what can we build on. And so there's kind of that energy around your whole week. Meditative breathing. Okay, so breathe in through the nose, fill up your belly, hold it for count of 1, 2, 3, and then slowly release. And when you release audibly so that you open your throat chakra also. For a count of 3, nice and slow. Do that a lot. I think you're going to need it this week, but you should do it in general. Finding your center, bringing yourself back in, aligning yourself. If you need help with aligning your chakras, Reiki healing, Nancy is in the description box below. A couple of my subscribers have told me that they've used her and that it's been really great. So be sure to check that out. Super affordable, even in these times. I mean, um, that might be really worth it to you, but she's really good. I use her a lot and I appreciate her a lot. So, all right. So Tuesday, the moon moves into Taurus at 59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Daylight time. What's daylight time? And then at 10:26 p.m. we have the new moon. So it's pretty fast. And this new moon coming in on all this tough energy. The moon is going to be squaring off that day with Pluto. It's going to be squaring off with Jupiter. It's going to be squaring off with Saturn. I mean, it is some tough energy. But don't let that stop you from doing the work of a new moon. A new moon asks you, okay, it's in Taurus. That is a fellow earth sign, and it is in your 9th house if you are a rising sign. It is in your 9th house of, which is like the hermit house. It's the research, it's the higher knowledge, it's the connection with spiritual, it's long distance travel, which none of us are doing. It's those things though, and it's an opportunity to plant your seeds of intention for what you want to create 18 months from now. New moon cycles run 18 months. A lot of times you'll see stepping stones along the way when we get to the next new moon or the next full moon or whatever, but it requires patience. But the really neat thing about Taurus new moon is how fertile the soil is for things of financial. So it is a great opportunity to, in the chaos here, to look through what is salvageable, what are your game plan goals financially moving forward. And it starts with, what do you already have and are you grateful for? What resources do you have? Taking stock and feeling the gratitude. Write it down. The longer your list, the more you realize how much you really have going on, and the sense of abundance comes in, which raises your vibration, which brings in equally higher vibrational energy opportunities to you. So it's that belief in and that faith and that knowing that you can do things that help you. So really trying to dig into creating a new beginning where you're working smarter, not harder, which you're all about efficiency, so that's great. Realizing that there is a light ahead. It's not always going to be like this, you know. So take the time to do this. I do want to give you a heads up that on Thursday, you're going to be struck by the moon is going to come in conjunction with Uranus. And so there's going to be I wasn't expecting to feel like that. Like some kind of feeling about something is going to surprise you. Could be positive, could be negative. Who the heck knows? It's chaos. But you're going to be asked to release, to give up, to let go of something that's holding you back from achieving your goals. You know, so you could have to give up maybe in order to fund a project, you're going to need to let go of, your baseball card collection that you've had since a child so that you can finance it. I mean, it's something that's not going to be easy to let go of. There's some big change coming. There's some kind of big relationship thing that needs to happen to change to let go of. An idea. I feel like it's an idea. I feel like this is going to be a long-held belief that you're going to need to let go of in order to move forward. This feels more along the thought process line than anything else. So you have conscious consumer. You have the power to heal and help the world with your decisions to buy only products and services that are ethical and environmentally friendly. Wow, I can almost speak. As a conscious consumer, you choose to invest in fair trade, organic goods. You live simply and you purchase only that which you need. You don't hoard toilet paper. It's still not in the stores. I'm like, what is that about? Didn't everybody buy enough to last them until, the end of time? Okay, so, all right, conscious consumer. I also want you to think of this in another way. conscious consumer, because we have all this fear mongering energy this week, and this tough energy. Conscious consumer of what you consume mentally, emotionally. So, I've been hiding out from Facebook. I can't handle it. Just can't handle it right now. So I'm choosing to not consume all the theories, all the this people over here and this people, everybody's setting up in their camps. And for a while there, it looked like we were going to have this kumbaya moment, like we're all in this together, but it's not. It's fallen apart already, and I can't watch it, right? And so I chose not to consume that. What is this Tiger King thing, right, that everybody's talking about? Have you watched Tiger King? I saw that what it was about. I thought, God, no, I'm not watching that. So choosing what you put into your mind, because up in your ninth house like that, that's really important. So choosing wisely what you consume, physically, choosing the highest quality foods that you can, saying grace before your meals and before you drink water to bless them, to raise the vibrational energy, being conscious of how you consume things. Be conscious of what you are letting into your mind, into your space. So just be conscious of all of that this week. But I think because I was doing this with the new moon, I think this has to do with when you're planting your seeds of intention, whatever it is that you're choosing to focus on for this goal. Also be conscious how you are choosing to do this. So if it's a financial goal, maybe you don't want to invest in a company that uses slave workers. Be thoughtful about where you're going with all this. Be very conscious of the choices and the decisions you make moving forward. Okay, but yay for Friday. We have some pretty nice energy on Friday. We're all going to get up and sing and dance and be happy on Friday. I can't wait. Just telling you. I'd like to fast forward to Friday based on what I'm seeing here. Okay, Saturday. Saturday the moon is going to move into Gemini at 3:20 in the morning. That is the day that Pluto goes retrograde, so we start picking through the rubble. We have until October 4th to do that process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's an opportunity. We have all the planets going retrograde, so there's an opportunity to kind of pick through that. Mercury. Communication is going to be, Mercury rules your sign, and it is in a square with Pluto. It's in a square with Jupiter. It's just not a good time to communicate things that you're transforming in your life or that you're trying to expand. And so this energy of Gemini is about getting a new idea and thinking about it. And so you've been planting the seeds of intention, and there's going to be ideas that come with it, and you need to do research for it. But keeping your idea to yourself is going to be really important. Being willing to accept the situation for what it is, being willing to accept the help that you need, asking for Spirit to help you. Oh, God, please help me to make good choices, to lead me, guide me through the situation is always a good way to go, because if you don't ask, you can't receive the help anyways. But with this acceptance of the situations, with acceptance of help comes growth. Right? So keep your idea to yourself. That feels very important. On Sunday, there is the sun is going to come into conjunction with Uranus. So just like we had that sudden emotional, I didn't know where the heck that came from back on Thursday, now on Sunday, there is some major breakthrough, positive, I'm hoping, but it could be negative. Something going to pop within a few days of either side of that. It could be a breakthrough in the way you think about things, or the way you view things. It could be a physical breakthrough. And for the world, because it's the sun and Uranus, it could be some kind of a major sudden unexpected change that happens on that day too. So maybe they announce the whole world is opening up, and that would be good. Okay. I mean, if we're ready. I'm not going political. All right, here we go. So your guidance, you have a lot. This is really positive. It says, new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself, and allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation, right? We're talking about that ninth house. Study, prayer, and meditation is all about that. that sudden breakthrough in the way you feel, the way you see things this week. And so there's going to be a breakthrough, a change, something, the way you are becoming a conscious consumer. It's like all of a sudden you're like, I can't do that anymore. Maybe I can't support that anymore. I need to do things differently. So that is going to happen. That is beautiful. You have a happy move to a new home or a place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. Lovely. And you have yes. You have yes. It is time. The timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectation. So, the chaos that is leading to the death of a situation or a thought process or something like that, it's because it needs to end, and let it go so you can move forward. This is beautiful energy. So Virgo, nice. Really nice. It is a time to dance with joy. What has felt confining and restrictive and made you feel like you were out there all on your own, that time is coming to an end. And now here's the opportunity for you to consciously choose what direction you want to move forward in. What's your big goal for the next 18 months? And you have such a beautiful card. You have pink, let love in. And this pink is the pink of self-love. This is the pink of self-love. So love yourself. Let yourself accept yourself for who you are and the right people. And by right people, I mean people. When you accept who you are and you're totally authentically who you are, then the people that you attract into your life, they like you because you're being authentic, right? I was married to a guy who lied about everything, including how he made his money. And he says to me one day, he goes, why can't you just accept me for who I am? And I was like, dude, for 3 years while we were engaged, you hid who you were from me. So I didn't know. But you hid it because you knew I wouldn't like that person, and I don't like that person. So, that was a really short marriage. So love yourself for who you are so that you can attract into your life people who are like-minded, who are your soul tribe. Allow that to happen for yourself. It's a gift you give yourself every day for the rest of your life. All right, Virgo, you take care. We will talk again on Monday. Have a good week. It looks like a week of big changes and thinking things through and breakthroughs in a very positive direction. So even with all the tough energy, if you just hide out from the world and ignore what's going on and just deal with your crap, I think you're going to find this week very productive. And that's good news. All right. I'll talk to you soon. You take care.